All right, Dennis Gillan here. Hope all is well. It's a special edition of It's a Tough Subject. I don't have my co-host. Jessica Seal is out and about doing great things for the state of South Carolina. That's okay. I have somebody else on the line. A young man. We're doing an intergenerational talk this time. I met this young man a long time ago, a couple years ago down at Clemson, and I'll introduce him as Josh Blandino. We have something in common. We are members of the same fraternity, and Josh is doing a very good thing for our foundation this year. He's running a marathon, and we are the benefactor, which I cannot thank you enough for that, Josh. I can't thank you enough, and we'll talk about it. But Josh Blandino, thank you for coming on. It's a Tough Subject. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks you for having me.
All right. I know the answer, but just tell the audience, what did you do before we got on the call?
I just got done one of my longer runs. Usually Wednesdays are like a mid-range long run. Weekends are your super long runs, and then Tuesday, Thursdays kind of recovery days a little bit. So shorter runs, but.
So you're running a marathon, and
yeah.
Trust me, I've done it. I'm going to give you some scholarly advice here. It's not the 26 miles that stink. It's the 0.2 at the end.
I want to hear that.
No, you'll get through it. You're young. I enjoyed the whole process. I enjoyed the training too. So are you following a program for the marathon? You follow like a schedule?
Yeah, it's like I can't remember how many weeks. I think it's like a 16-week schedule. So I started like end of June, early July, and just kind of been trucking along. I started basically a super novice one, so my first couple weeks were like only a couple miles, and then now we've worked up to like where I'm running 18 and 20 consistently. So it's definitely building bricks, but yeah.
Wow! And the marathon is coming up
November 9th in Outer Banks. Yep.
Outer Banks, North Carolina. It should be a nice flat course.
That's what I'm hoping. I also wanted something that was pretty too, so we'll be out there for a while.
There's one hill there. I think the Wright brothers know where it is. That's where the first flight took place in the Outer Banks.
Yeah, I want to run up that one.
You don't want to run up that one. You want to go down it. So just for the audience's sake, and how did these a young guy hook up with this old guy? Where did we first run into each other? Where did you see me?
Yeah, so I had gotten selected to go to a fraternity convention, or I think it was leadership training technically. It was in Indianapolis, and we were just over there kind of learning about leadership and whatnot, and then you came on to give your mental health, suicide prevention speech, and I think honestly out of the whole weekend, when you got on there, like everything had kind of been like a little boring, and then you came on and just changed everything, caught everybody's attention, and then I was like, I've got to get to know this guy. We talked for a little bit. I went to Clemson, and turns out you live in Greenville, so that's only like a 45-minute drive.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's just kind of how we met in Indiana. On that long weekend.
It's funny you say that because it's a tough subject. I talk about mental health with an emphasis on suicide prevention. And for men, there's 80% of all suicides are men. But I love getting in front of young guys. But the presentation is not normal per se. There's a little humor in there to lighten the load. And it's funny that you say, people have come up to me like, I don't want to say I enjoyed that, but I was laughing. And then, I was, crying, but I got your message. So I still don't know how to market it or pigeonhole it because it's off the wall a little bit. It's like
it is a little off the wall. It's definitely interesting. I think like even going through school when we had other speakers come in and speak on that topic, it left the room kind of empty, felt empty feeling, kind of heavy. But yeah, like your speech, yeah, it's like you don't enjoy it because the topic's tough, but you walk the line of making not everybody comfortable during it.
Try to keep it real too. Just try to keep it real. And I like to talk like I try to get up there and act like one of the kids. I try to get jiggy with it. Nobody gets jiggy with it anymore. Nobody says that anymore. But you guys are really good. Because what I remember by Indiana, and then we met a couple other times. I think in New Orleans. You guys are really good about giving the attention to the subject. Your generation, I'm going to pat you all on the back. You talk about this stuff, and you're good about investing in it. Mental health. Your suicide numbers, by the way, 15 to 24 years old are going down. You're talking about it. You got young folks. We could learn something from you all. My generation, 44 and higher, the numbers are awful for older men. So I tip my hat to you for taking this on and supporting us by running. You're going to pound the pavement to raise money for Half a Star, and we'll have the link in the show notes. But for people to donate and help you, I put it on. You may have seen it. I put it on LinkedIn, by the way. I took.
I did. I did see that. Yep.
Yeah, and we got some nice donations from brothers, and I tagged some folks and our Grand Council president. I forgot his official title.
David, Mr. Cohen.
Yeah, David Cohen. I forgot his official title of what we called it, but he reposted it and he donated. And
I saw that.
He walks the walk and talks the talk. So I appreciate that. If he's out there listening. Then while you were an undergrad, you actually did a mental health walk for our foundation.
Yeah, we started the Mental Health Mile. We teamed up with a couple sororities back-to-back years. And that was just kind of, we actually, right before I met you in Indianapolis, it was like our first year of starting a mental health chair. And basically this was just a guy who would kind of check in with everybody. He went through a bunch of courses. I wish I knew more specific of what they were, but he had a bunch of training. It was actually Brendan DeAndrea. And then he kind of would check in with people. He could put you in contact with somebody if you needed help. And so when we were looking to do philanthropy stuff, we were like, well, what better way to promote our new chair position than doing a mental health, basically fundraiser. We didn't really have an idea at first. And then kind of Mental Health Mile came on, rolled off the tongue. I think in part too, that's because for a lot of the guys that were planning this, physical activity was kind of a way that we would help with our mental health and kind of stay on the straight and narrow. So when we were planning it, we're like, well, Mental Health Mile kind of rolls off the tongue. And then you also have the physical aspect of it, of getting somebody outside, getting some sun, maybe get a little sweat going. I don't know. I just think all that helps with your mental health. So
it does. If we could take the benefits of of exercise and put it in a pill, everybody would take it. So there's a pharmacy within our bodies, and we have to work hard to release it. The dopamine, the serotonins, all those feel-good chemicals are good for us, and that what you guys do in that mile. A lot of guys run that mile.
Yeah.
A lot of people walk it. It doesn't matter. Just go down to the and come back. And now you went from 1 mile to 26.2.
I know. I don't know where I went wrong there, but
no, I hope you enjoy the process. And, the Gillan motto when it comes to marathons is one and done. I did one. I did that in Chicago, and I enjoyed the whole process. I enjoyed the training. I did enjoy the, what do they call it? Embrace the suck. There's days you wake up like, oh crap, today's an 18-mile run. And you just gotta embrace it. Just all right, let's plow through this. And then the day of, you do some tapering, if I'm correct. You'll taper down a little bit, and then the day of, it's in you. You got to find a way to pull it out.
Yep, I've started the tapering process now. So now it's just trusting that the last few months was what I needed.
That's it. Well, you put the work in, and there's no shame in walking. Just do your best to finish. That's all. And if you don't, so be it. There's other opportunities, and it has to be the right day too. Physically, mentally.
Yep.
There's a lot of factors that go into it. Again, trust me, I ran one. But it has to be. A lot of things have to line up.
I believe you.
Yeah, and Josh, I was so bummed when I ran mine. Not bummed. I wanted to run it in under 4 hours. That was like the marker. Dude, I ran it in 4 hours and 57 seconds.
Oh.
I couldn't find 58 seconds out there somewhere. If I find 58 seconds somewhere, and I did stop the stretch because, it was a long day. But if I didn't do that, I'm like, man, I could 3:59:59 sounds a lot better than 4:57.
You finished. That sounds a lot better than not.
Well, that was it. And then the crazy thing was I did it and I was hurting for certain. Like, just stairs. The next day, stairs won't be your friend. If you could take
Yeah.
the elevator, take the elevator. But the next year, my ex-wife ran it and she was fine the next day. I'm like, there must be something to that estrogen. She was,
Yeah. What?
I was dying.
I'll probably Uber everywhere for a week.
Yeah. You'll be done exercising for November. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
You do it early in the month. And I like your hat, by the way. I said, I'll take my
Yeah.
hat to you. Camo hat. We talked about that in a lot of our mental health talks. And I did a talk this weekend, or Monday night, and I gave out a couple hats. And the goal there is to get men to talk about mental health because men tend to camouflage their symptoms or signs. We don't talk about it. And my brothers included. And that's where we came up with the Camo Hat Club. I'm working on something for the girls, but I have to get a young lady to help me because I can't be the guy. I look like a creeper if I come up
Yeah.
with a girls
Right.
program.
Yeah.
There's a young girl. I think she's got some a friend of mine, a fraternity brother's daughter, and I need her help. She does more merchandising and stuff, and she can help me out.
Okay.
She could promote. But I like the Camo because back to the 80%. 80% of all suicides are men, and I can't say that enough. But then women have more attempts, so it doesn't matter. I'll be on my rant about men, and I'm wearing a bracelet. That yellow bracelet I have on my wrist is from a dad who lost his 12-year-old daughter. One is too many. So your efforts in running this marathon are not going to go unnoticed. You're going to help us do the things we did. Like 2 weeks ago, I attended a loss meeting, and that's after we lose somebody to suicide, Josh, we need somebody to show up at the house and tell the family it's going to be okay. And it's going to suck, yes, but we've walked that walk. We've been down this path. And I'm trying to get it started in a couple, South Carolina and a couple other areas. And because of donations, I was able to go to Omaha, attend this, learn. I wasn't speaking. I was a participant. I was in the back, writing notes, attending sessions. So I want to thank, that's where some of your funds go to help me learn this stuff and then take it to the street. So thank you very much. And there's times where people can pay me to speak and there's times where people can't. And when they can't, I just say, all right, what do I wear? Because the foundation, I never say no. But the foundation, if they have money, they'll help me out. If they don't have money, I'll see you there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's been because of the foundation, because of people like you raising money to help us get out there. It is awesome. It's been doubly blessed, with this turning my misery into my mission. And I couldn't do it without you.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're helping people out. I mean, you don't know how much you're helping people. So thank you.
Everyone has a role to play, and your role is going to be to go run 26 miles.
Hey.
I'm still laughing about it.
Hey.
You're going to get it done.
Yeah.
So you did the mental health mile, I think maybe once or twice when you were there.
I think while I was there, we did it twice. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have been the chairman. And then just to bring our audience up to speed, you since graduated college.
I'm out. I'm done.
You're adulting.
Gosh, I wish I was in college again.
We all do. We all do. I wish I'd go back as an old man. But I did attend when you guys were so kind there at Clemson University to invite me to a chapter meeting. And this is a generational thing. As much as things change, they don't. I was in college 1981 to 85. So here I'm in 2025. I'm at a chapter meeting for you guys 40 years later. And it's very similar. In a weird way. It was, Josh, there were guys busting on each other. There were guys talking about business, philanthropy stuff. It felt like I was in a time warp.
Yeah, I bet.
It was really fun. And I laughed so hard at the chapter meeting. They had Brother of the Week and all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I got home. My wife goes, "How was the meeting?" I said, "It was great. They're doing really good things down there. They're doing great stuff on campus." But I also laughed a lot. And she didn't expect that part. Maybe the sororities don't laugh, but we laughed a lot.
Hey, we wanted it to be fun. I mean, you're with 100 and, well, for us, it was like 130 of your friends. So it's like, you want to go have fun for a little bit. I mean, you got to get some stuff done, but there's no reason why it's got to be, regimen. You can have some fun. You can laugh. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and for some of the folks out there listening that weren't in Greek life, being in a fraternity sorority, you have a regular scheduled meeting, and typically, I remember ours when I was at West Virginia University, it was Sunday nights.
Yep.
And we just take care of business. You have to go over the budget. You have to go over the social calendar. You have to go over the philanthropy. What are we doing this week? Hey, we're paired with this group. We're doing, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I'm a big fan of Greek life because I think they give you those skills, budgeting and all this organization, volunteering, that bode well into adulting.
Yeah.
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 Every time
Definitely. I was going to say, like, the biggest thing I learned is it's tough to get 130 people who don't want to do something to do something. So you learn how to be creative in enticing people and motivating them and leading by example too. That definitely helps. So
that it does, and it's you're never going to get everyone. And I think when I go out and speak, the chapter meetings are my favorite. I just did one down at for the good folks at Kappa Sigma at University of Nebraska in Lincoln,
okay.
Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
This is crazy. This is unbelievable timing. I was going to Nebraska for that loss meeting, and I got a call from this fraternity saying, "Hey, could you guys speak to our guys? They had a thing go on, and probably could use your advice. I don't want to get into specifics, whatever." Now they go, "Do you ever get to Nebraska?" This is on a Thursday. I said, "Dude, I'm going to be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week." And they set something up real quick. And fraternities can rally people real quick. In Greek life, you get people together real quick. You just put out the call. And Monday night, we had 60 guys in a chapter meeting. And I got to do my thing that group. It was great. I love going to chapter. It's a little more intimate,
Yeah.
You could see the eyeballs. You're not in a big theater. And it was you could do some heavy lifting in that group.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's cool. Right. I didn't know that.
Oh, and Josh, you can laugh at these stories because you're only about a year removed or a semester removed from it. But I spoke in another fraternity down in University of Georgia. I'm not trying to name names because I love them all. But this was funny, and I was talking about how the THC levels were off the chart. Because in my talk, in our summer, we talk about desperate souls, and there's a piece there for substance use because that's a warning sign. If someone's not doing so well, the increased use of alcohol and drugs. You probably saw it at the fraternity. Just if some guy's in a bad way, he's on a bender. You're like, whoa, somebody needs to reach that guy because he normally doesn't drink that much, and this isn't normal.
Yeah.
So I was going over that, and then I started talking about the choices that students have today that my generation didn't have. The choices are off. The menu is very robust.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys can get on campus. And I said the THC levels are off the chart, and one guy in the back went, "Woohoo!"
I believe it.
Oh, totally. And everyone's like, looked at me as if the speaker's going to get mad. I started laughing. I said, that would have been me. That would have been me. I would have said woohoo back in the day. And I totally get it. They didn't expect that reaction. I just started laughing. So it's tough. And then you and I talked one time, Josh. I want to bring this up real quick, but I don't want to blindside you. But we talked about, and I have to add this, when I go over risk factors and warning signs, I'm 62. I mean, I know I look 61. Thank you. But there's stuff that you all are dealing with that I never had to deal with, be it social media, whatever. But one of them that stuck out to me, and I went to a conference, was gambling.
Yeah.
And it's a guy thing. I was just watching World Series of Poker before I came down here because I like to watch it. I don't like to gamble.
Yeah.
I like to see other people gamble. They're the ones betting. Was that rampant on campus? Was like it's on our pockets now.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting now because they make it so you don't even have to go to a casino. I could pull out my phone right now and place any amount of money on a blackjack hand while we're speaking in 10 seconds. And yeah, I think you see that a lot on campus. And for most people, I think it doesn't go the way they think it's going to go. Everybody thinks they're one hand away from retirement or whatever. But you're also you could spiral down, a deep hole. And I definitely saw that on campus with a few people that I know personally, but also just people in general overhearing conversations. I mean, you would hear people betting more to get out of the hole that they're already in, which usually doesn't help. Betting to pay rent. I mean, it sounds crazy, but like you'll hear stuff like that. And like if you don't win, I can't imagine the tremendous amount of pressure that puts on your mental health. And then you also, I mean, you're gonna have to tell somebody if you can't pay rent. I mean, somebody's got to know. So it was just, yeah, I think it's just tough. They make it so easy. You can just jump on there and you can also bet on literally anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be your typical casino stuff. There's a sports game on typically like every single night between baseball, football, hockey. I mean, all of them. And you could bet on like some apps will even do like what color shoes LeBron James is going to wear. Like it's just you can bet on literally everything from the game points to anything. So they make it just it's too easy, in my opinion, to pull out your phone and place a bet on something. I definitely saw that affect some people on campus for sure.
That'll mess with your mental health because it's rigged. The house always wins. That's why they're
Yeah,
in business.
yeah.
And I was in a casino. I was actually staying in the hotel, and they had a casino downstairs.
Hmm.
And I don't gamble, but I went down there. There was an ice cream shop down there. I do eat.
Okay.
Yeah, I went down there for dessert, and I'm watching it. And I called up a buddy of mine who does a little bit of gambling. I asked him how much is your wager. It's penny. This guy's. If I had his money, I burned my money. But he's betting like he might have like $10 on a game. That's like low.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
really just he does it just to pique his interest.
Yeah, just
So
a
I call him up and I said, dude, I'm watching all these TVs at this. It's like FanDuel or something. They have a branch in the casino,
mm-hmm.
and I'm looking over at the far right TV. It was college cheerleading, and I said, can you bet on that? And he goes, let me check. And he pulls up his app. He goes, oh yeah, you could bet on it.
Yeah.
College.
I bet. I mean, you can bet on literally, I mean, anything you want, really. Like, I mean, there's some apps that will even let you bet on like politics and stuff. I mean, it's nuts.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I've heard. I did go to another conference for the higher education suicide prevention council out of Pennsylvania, and we had it in a casino in Philadelphia. It's called Live
Hmm.
near the ball fields
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep.
right there. And they had a guy from the Pennsylvania Gaming Commission talking about the detrimental effects on mental health, and I was exhibiting there, and I could just hear him. I didn't attend this, but I could hear it. Holy mackerel! I think I have to add that as a risk factor or a warning sign in my talk.
Sure. Yeah.
I never thought of it.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely something. I mean, I also can speak I have a few buddies who can gamble responsibly and they're fine with losing the set amount of money that they put, and if they win they win, if they lose it they lose it, but they'll quit at that point. But like I said, I'm sure I can guarantee the percentage is way higher on the people who can't set those limits for themselves and be disciplined, and they'll just keep digging down in that hole.
That's
um,
it. You're right. You're always like, well, let me win this one. I'll be back.
and
And
then
once I get even, I'll stop. And then you never get there. You just never
Mhm.
get there. Dude, you're doing full camo. You guys can't see it. Josh has a camo hat and he has a camo mug right now. You're going all in. I appreciate that you're supporting the cause. The Camo Hat Club, by the way, has saved my rear end. And I want to see you young guys get a hold of this thing. Every first Thursday of the month, I have breakfast with a bunch of guys.
Mhm.
And I met these guys when I was going through my divorce, and I met them in the apartment building I lived in, and we go out to breakfast. I've since graduated from that apartment building. I've got remarried, but yet 7, probably in 2018, 7 years later, we still go to breakfast, and it's one of my favorite days.
Yeah, that's
Like
cool.
I get that early morning dudes, and some of these guys are retired. They want to hang out all day, but I got to go to work. I get up and leave.
Yeah.
I take a selfie real quick, and we have the hats, and then I go. That day I have a lot of pep in my step because I started my day out with dudes, even at my age. Men need men, and it was just um, it is. It's like it's one of my favorite days. And we tried the first time like we did this. We were learning how to do this club.
Mhm.
We tried once a week. That's a little much. It was like, hey, how was your week? How was your week?
Yeah.
Then we switched. Then we were rotating restaurants, and then I couldn't remember where it was with my ADHD. You show up at the wrong one. So we finally figured out, let's keep it simple. We're dudes. we pick one restaurant, one day a week. It's the first Thursday of every month, and it's at Maple Street Biscuit, downtown Greenville, South Carolina, and we meet there. And if anyone can hear my voice and you're in the neighborhood, you're welcome to join us. Look for the guys with the camo hats on, and we're sitting there and we just check in. Yeah. At the end of the breakfast, Josh, I need you to start one with your guys up there in Delaware. At the end of the breakfast, I just say, how's everybody's mental health? Like right now, you have a lot on your plate with the marathon and stuff. After the marathon, just get a few guys. I know a guy does it on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Like the first Saturday, they just get together. Because what happens, life gets in the way. I could have used this when I was 20 years old. I could have used it when I was 30, 40, 50. I had to start it when I was 50. It's just that check-in. And then, dude, girls get in the way. No offense, ladies. Kids get in the way. Life gets in the way. And I wouldn't see guys until we went to like reunions or funerals. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them under, I'd rather see somebody over a nice breakfast than
definitely
a sad event.
So, yeah. For this one, I can't say I've done we don't have like meetings or stuff up here, but this hat I always wear in the gym. It's like my gym hat. So every time I go to the gym, and people actually love it. I get a lot of compliments on it, but I use it as like an opportunity to like explain what it is and just kind of like be like, well, this is actually like why I'm wearing it. This is what the Camo Hat Club is. Because a lot of people think it's a hunting club.
Oh, yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's not a hunting club.
We are hunting. We're hunting for men.
Yeah, but
fishers of men. Yeah.
But yeah, it just gives you an opportunity to kind of be like, well, this hat actually does have a deeper meaning. So I've used it in that way. But yeah, maybe a group or something is next.
This is a fraternity story too. This past weekend, a fraternity brother of mine from the 80s does a weekend where he's an Episcopalian church leader. He takes a bunch of guys that are in transitional housing. Mm-hmm. Those are the guys, they're not unhoused. They're unhoused, but they're not homeless. They're in a halfway house or like a VA home like Austin Wilkes. And they're in these wonderful, one's called House of Peace, one's called Providence Home. They're trying to get back on their feet. They tripped, stumbled, and fell, and they're really hustling. A lot of these places you have to test clean to get in.
Sure.
So they're working on that, and they have jobs. A lot of them have jobs.
Yeah,
they're good people. So we take them down. He takes a bunch of guys. I think this week we had 11, and he takes them to a church camp for the weekend. And we just love on them. And it's a fraternity brother of mine. So he asked me one day, "Can you come down and do your Men Need Men?" But Josh, it gives me nothing but more to the pleasure than to hand out 11 hats to these guys.
Yeah.
And I challenge them, guys, don't camouflage your emotions. And they have stories that will blow you away. Because think about it, a lot of them were homeless at one time. They're unbelievable.
Yeah. Right.
Stories of resilience, you name it, they were on the drug. But they're very forthcoming with these by the end of the weekend. First, when they walk in, they're like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? And then by the Sunday, they're like, I want to thank all you guys for loving on us for this whole weekend. So it's really cool that this fraternity brother I used to drink with back in the day, I'm 31 years sober. Yeah, but we used to go out, and he was our social chairman for the fraternity. Now runs a men's ministry, and I get to hand out those hats. It's so cool.
That's awesome.
And it's a lifelong our time in college and a time in any kind of club. It becomes a lifelong commitment, and we have to make it that way. Josh, I'm going to challenge you. You're still in touch with some of these guys, but sometimes you have to be the one that makes the call. I'm staying in a house right now of a fraternity brother. I'm going to homecoming this weekend in Pittsburgh. I went to WVU. It's about an hour and a half away from here. This son of a gun, I'm going to rat him out. He's upstairs. He never calls me. We have friends like that.
Yeah.
So I always call him, and I used to say, dude, you got to call me more. But when we talk, we love talking. So I don't mind calling him.
Yeah.
That's my role.
Yep.
And obviously we're still friends because I'm staying at his house tonight.
Absolutely.
But stay in touch with those guys. It's work sometimes, Josh.
Definitely. Yeah.
But you got to call, you got to text, you got to get on, whatever your kids are doing, but stay in touch because again, this weekend, 25 guys are coming. I think it was 28. It was 28 guys are coming to the one football game. And once a year I'll see them.
Wow.
So there's a challenge. I've thrown a lot at you besides doing the marathon for that.
Look, I don't know. I'm going to have to get a sticky note out. I know. I'm like getting more busy.
No, you got to focus on November 9th.
Okay, we're almost there. A couple more weeks.
Are you going down? Let's talk about logistics for the marathon, and we will have a link in the show notes of how you could support Josh. Let's talk about logistics before you go down there. Are you going down the day before, 2 days before? Are you getting acclimated?
Yeah, so we're the marathon's on a Sunday, so we're planning to head down either Thursday night or Friday morning, one of the two. So we'll be there like full day, pretty much Friday, and then full day Saturday. And then we're going ahead and taking Monday and Tuesday's Veterans Day. So I took Monday off, so I'm staying a little bit after too. A little bit of vacation at the same time.
Well, recovery. You're not going to
Yeah.
feel like doing much Monday. I'm telling
Oh, I
you.
mean, it's not going to be, it's just relaxing time. Don't
Yeah,
have to jump right back into a car and head back to Delaware. So I'm looking forward
that's
to that.
yeah. Again, man, back to my one marathon. We had a little party. There was a couple guys that I knew in my church that were running their marathon, and they helped me train. I was so glad for these guys. They had done it before,
Hmm.
so they told me what the route, and they were helping me out a little bit. And they told me that trick to put water out in those long runs. This guy would take his bike and put water out, so we'd jog up on it, and we'd hit it.
Yep.
He was just smart like that. His name was Glenn Schmidt, and he was I couldn't have done it without him. So we had a big party for everyone, and I must have ate something that night. This is a Friday. Our marathon's on a Sunday, and
Okay.
I had reflux Friday night. I
Ooh.
couldn't sleep, and I felt like I was going to throw up. And laying in bed, I'm like, dang it, I got like 2 days. I got a marathon. Actually, that worked in my favor because Saturday we went downtown to the hotel. I was so tired from not sleeping Friday. I went right to sleep the night before the marathon and slept perfectly the night.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I bet it will be. So, not really. Technically, my goal is just to finish.
That's perfect.
Definitely based off of your training times, you kind of put together an idea of what you think you should be able to do it in. But I'm not even putting a number out there. I just want to finish. This is a personal goal for me, just to cross that finish line. So I was the kid in school who
That's
couldn't
it.
even run a mile. So it's like being able to even attempt 26 is a blessing. So
Absolutely. Enjoy the process. Embrace the suck. The only reason I asked about the time, I wasn't going to put you on the spot. Sometimes they have you line up by what you think
well,
you're going to finish.
yeah, so that's what I say. I'm gonna base that off of my training times.
Yeah.
But if I go a little quicker, I go a little slower. Like it's not a big deal to me. I'm just like I said. Hey, it might not be pretty, but if I get through 26, then don't have
Dude,
to be.
that's half the battle right there. Just finish that thing, get the little medal, and take pride in it. It's not. I had this little quote on my door every time I left my office. I had this quote. It's not the will to run a marathon. You have to have the will to train to run a marathon.
Right, I'm learning that. Those days in July and August at 3 o'clock in the afternoon after work were tough.
Yeah,
Trying
smoking
to get
hot.
some,
You're
yeah,
dead tired.
yep, getting some miles in. It's 100 out. I had a few days like that. Yeah, I'm learning. I think like I did my half last year, ran that in October. So I forget, I think that one might have been 11 or 12-week training. This one's like 16, 18. But you learn a lot about yourself in that time period. You learn kind of what's important because you got to manage your time. I've enjoyed the challenge. I mean, there's days when in the early things where I didn't realize that your body needs electrolytes and carbs, and I would go out on my run and I was calling mom like, hey, you got to pick me up, like both of my legs double cramped up and I can't walk.
Yeah.
And like so kind of learning through that process, there was a 3 or 4 weeks in my training where every time I went out it was like, will I cramp or will I not, or will my shins hurt or will they not, or how to properly stretch and warm up, like what worked, what doesn't. um and so like that part of the training is just, I feel like you learn a lot about yourself. um yeah.
Yeah, and you will, and I'm proud of you for even just taking this on, and I'm super proud when you called me up and said, "Hey, I'm going to do it for your foundation." We're going to share in your joy, because we get our name from a shared joy is a double joy. So when you cross that finish line,
Yeah, we'll both be celebrating.
There'll be a double joy. I'll be glad that you did what you did. You'll be glad it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'll be, yeah, you'll be happy I did it. I'll be, Dennis, I'm never doing that again.
You come over to the Dennis Gillan motto, one and done. Next challenge. I always thought I'd have another one in me. I don't think, I think that ship sailed. It hurts now. Everything hurts. You'll find out Monday morning after the marathon. Yeah, but I'm so proud of you for supporting the foundation. And the flip side of that saying, a shared joy is a double joy, is a shared sorrow is half a sorrow. So, men need men. If you're hurting out there, let somebody know. And again, if you want to put a challenge out there like Josh did and raise money for us, go for it. But you're right, Josh. You're going to learn a lot about yourself running the marathon. You're gonna go inside and take a good exam. You got 26 miles to do it.
Yeah.
At point 2. And I did enjoy the whole thing. I did learn a lot about Dennis. We could do hard things.
Yeah.
We could do hard things, and life is hard, and we could do that as well. So there's a survivor's message there as well. So
that was kind of a fuel to the fire. Oh, did I? Oh.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll just add this if you want to. Yeah, I was just saying, I'll just add
bro.
this if you want to add it in. But basically, kind of like the fuel to the fire was I don't like that feeling of complacency. I think I started feeling a little complacent. I came home, moved home, found a job, loved my job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then I just started getting in a groove, and I'm like, I need some sort of challenge, something to test your mental, because you start getting in this cruise control, and it just wasn't doing good for me. I didn't have anything pushing me. I didn't have like a challenge or a goal. So I was like, I'm going to do a marathon. Just wrote down on a piece of paper, I want to run a marathon. Found a training program, and then started training shortly after. But for me, that's helped with my mental health a bunch, having a goal, training towards something. Just not becoming complacent, getting out of that cruise control of life, because once I started getting in the flow of going to work, coming home, it's easy to just get in that cruise control and stay there. So yeah.
Eat the Cheetos on the couch.
It wasn't doing good for my head. I'll put it that way. So
yeah, I'm glad you recognize that, and you said, you know what, I need to stimulate this thing somehow. You picked a heck of a stimulation.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll run a 5K. I'm going to do a marathon. That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. Us being the benefactor. That was very. I'm doubly blessed. I'm blessed to know you, and I'm blessed that you're doing this for us. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you for what you do. I mean, I'm just running a marathon. You're out here years after years after years, traveling the country, helping people, talking to people. Every time I've called you about something, whether it be fundraising or whether it just be, hey, I need a shout, I need to talk to somebody, you've always answered, always taken the time. If you don't have the time right then, you find the time. And I know I'm not the only person you do that for. So on behalf of me, or I guess on behalf of everybody else, I'll say thank you for that, because you don't realize how much you're actually helping people. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it in college in your speeches. I've seen it with people talking to me after your speeches, like, hey, thank you for getting me connected with Dennis. So thank you. And hopefully we can raise some money for you so you can go on some trips and keep helping people out.
Yeah, we'll use it wisely, and we'll use it wisely. Like we went to Omaha and learned a lot and helped another group out. We're frugal with it, so thank you for recognizing that. And then again, I'm here for you. I guess after the marathon and after we count the money, I'm going to block your phone number. No,
there we go. Hey,
no, I love it when you come to town, and you let me know when you're in town, and you're in Delaware. I'm in South Carolina, but you have a connection to South Carolina through your school. So
absolutely,
you get down there, you let me know. And we always make time for each other, Josh. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there you go, folks. We'll have a link in the show notes if you want to help Josh in his fundraising efforts. He's doing it November 9th, and we're going to even take donations after the marathon, I think, right? Until like
Yeah,
November.
I think so.
Yeah, we kept the window open and we'll push this out there, Josh. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much this means to me. Right now, I'm uploading a lot of good vibes your way.
Yeah.
You'll think about this and you'll think about it somewhere, in mile 20, 21, 22. You'll get it. You'll hit that cruise, and I could see it now. You'll find that flow. And I wish you the best during the day. I wish you good weather. I wish the wind is always at your back.
Yeah.
And you just one step at a time, Josh. One step at a
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. And that's been it, folks. That's another episode of It's a Tough Subject, a special edition, a fundraising event by Josh Blandino. He's running a marathon November 9th, and we all wish him well here at It's a Tough Subject. We'll be back next time with Jessica, our normal episode. But Josh, Godspeed, young man. Godspeed.
Thank you.